Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jake. Super excited to have you here today. Waiting for some people to jump in the chat so I can give my normal hello. What's up, Senor Tim, Carson Patton, Nerba G, Instagram Les Naso, David Brown. What's up, people? Give me a number one in the chat. We were talking about dodging the deception, unmasking AI hype and false promises today. So everybody's talking about AI. I love it. I do think that this has potential to be massively disruptive. I think that, I did not jump on the Bitcoin train, did not jump on the metaverse train, but I did jump 100%, pushed all my chips in on the AI train because I've got a pretty good track record of predicting some of these things. I haven't always been right, but I've been pretty right on a lot of stuff. And I think this AI is really where it's at. So today I want to talk about, there's a lot of hype right now about AI. What's up, Kendo Jedi, Bad Streak, Tom, Georgios, King Chess, Harry Mustache, Dave and Brown. Happy to see you guys. Hector Rivera, happy to see all you people. Give me a number one in the chat. That's how we communicate. You got questions, comments, whatever. We could talk about anything you like. In particular, my expertise lies in business development and grappling, specifically catch as catch can approach, some folk style, primarily the Billy Robinson, Carl Gotch, Wade Chalice, Frank Shamrock styles. That's where my background is. Been around that for a while. We've got a big camp coming up this weekend. I'm flying out tomorrow, be in Charlotte. You do not want to miss out, man. This is going to be sick. I really suggest if you're out there, get out there. We're going to have a hell of a good time. We always have a great camp. Kendo Jedi, thanks, dude. Gave me a CWO and a number one. Matthias, hey, what's up? Dutch Aquinas, Troy, High School Wrestling. Happy to see you guys. So today's topic, Ricky, son of David, said, yes, talk about catch as catch can instead. Haha. I'm happy to, man. If you guys got questions, I can go on and on about that. But, I'm broadcasting not just to the Scientific Wrestling Instagram. I am broadcasting out to the number one coaching, which is a business development platform that it's my company. But the AI thing is absolutely fascinating. Nature Boy says, very fun. You use pushing your chips in on AI as a metaphor. I am using AI now to start a company in the poker niche. That's cool, man. That's cool. I like that. What's up, Rick Brown? Happy to see him. John NB 7643. So let's get started on this. The title for this podcast today is Dodging the Deception, Unmasking Artificial Intelligence Hype and False Promises. There's a lot of crazy stuff that AI can do, but I want to talk about, at least right now, what AI can't do and the way that the truth behind all this AI hype and how you can learn to spot some of these false promises in the AI market. Okay. So get ready. We're going to steer clear of the AIBS. Maybe that should be a website, AIBS, to vet all this stuff. It is truly an amazing technology, though. So let's get started. Okay, so there is, without a doubt, massively growing hype surrounding AI, artificial intelligence. It seems like everybody and their mom is going gaga over the AI these days, with some people claiming it'll make us immortal. I'm talking to you transhumanists. Or that it'll somehow solve all the world's problems. But let's cut through the BS. Let's get to it. And not everything that glitters is gold. There's a lot of BS being peddled in the AI market. So let's really, really get into this. Okay. So, how can we avoid being duped by fancy words and empty promises, right? That's the typical government thing is to use what are known as inkhorn terms, and it's just full of it. So, before we get into the nitty gritty, let's get our facts straight, right? AI is without a doubt making waves in many industries, from healthcare to finance to entertainment to manufacturing, but not let's not like get ahead of ourselves here, right? Um, some of these claims are like really okay. So I want to kind of get into a quick rundown of what AI actually is, but we got a comment here. Balsanya says, my son is 5. I was thinking of putting him in wrestling. Is 5 years old a good age? Here's the best age to put somebody in wrestling. The age that they actually want to do it. Are you doing it because you missed out and you're trying to relive your life through your kid? Or is it that your kid's like, oh man, I love WWE. I love UFC. I want to do this, daddy. Maybe he likes roughhousing, that kind of stuff. That's probably, put him in Pee-wees, man. That's when I started. I'm 50 in a couple months, and I started when I was 5. So that's 45 years I've been in this kind of area. So I don't think it's too early, but you don't want to you want to make sure that you're doing it for the right reason. It's because the kid wants to do it and not because you're missing out. Like I got 2 sons and I roughhouse with them like crazy. But I don't know, still to this day, I put them in some wrestling and they like it and they don't like it. And their life is their life. So if they want to do it and they catch the passion that I've had, I would be so happy, especially because I want to have a family business, have them continue it. But if they don't, my main concern is for them to be happy. I hope that, and that's my opinion. I don't know. What's up, Charlie Clark, Weston Blake MMA, Extreme JKD, Jeet Kundo, Old Boy Wrestler. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, we got Carmen. Happy to see you, punchy facey. So let's do a quick rundown of what AI actually can do. Make note. This is what right now, as of this broadcast, this is what we know that AI can actually do. 1, it can automate repetitive tasks. Okay. 2, analyze massive amounts of data. 3, it can identify patterns and trends, inductive reasoning. And 4, it can make predictions based on historical data. Okay. Got that? Harry Balsonia says, good advice. Thanks. Hey, I hope it helps. So again, quick rundown. AI can actually automate things that are repetitive. It can analyze huge data sets really quickly. And that's in language as well, like human natural language. It can identify big patterns in data, trends, and it can then do predictions based on historical data. Now, mind you, data based on historical, the past don't equal the future. So don't get me wrong. All of that is super impressive, but it is a far cry as of right now from these ridiculously grandiose claims that some of the BS peddlers are making, right? So let's get into the good, bad, and the ugly of this AI. Okay. So the good side is things like AI can do these medical diagnoses, right? There is cause to believe that this AI can do things like finding cancers, diabetic retinopathy, which is blindness, things like that, right? That's impressive. It's very accurate in that regard. Okay. That's the good. The bad, some of these AI algorithms have been found to be totally biased, even discriminatory, because you have to remember it's based off of the writings of the last, whatever writings are on the internet. And there is stuff since the advent of the internet from the 90s to today, which might have a more of a modern philosophy, but some of that stuff is uploaded stuff for the past, which might be old and racist, right? Even Bugs Bunny cartoons, Disney, they reflected the time in which they were, right? So some of this AI can be discriminatory. It can lead to unfair treatment if put in the right context for people. And then the ugly part, that's the bad. The ugly on the AI is that there is some sketchy stuff. We've been hearing a lot of the security issues, right? Because deep fakes, and it's not just visual, you can deep fake somebody's voice. So I talked about this yesterday. People are getting on the these banks are getting these calls, and they used to be okay with voice verification, but you can't do that anymore. Does that make sense? So AI has got the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So you can't lose your mind here. You can't lose your mind. Oh, we got a comment out on Facebook. Stephen Douglas Shepard. I wish we had more academies for catch. Hey, dude, I'm solving the problem for you, brother. I got you. I got you. All you have to do is go over to scientificwrestler.com. I'm throwing that up for you guys. Scientificwrestler.com. And you can either start your own. That's how you really do things. If you want something, go do it. Don't wait for somebody else. Or tell your coach to come look at this at scientificwrestler.com. Get on the phone with me and let's see if it's a good fit. Nature Boy 10th Planet, Nate. So thankful for this talk. I'm sick of these advertisements saying how I used AI to create a course to teach you how to use AI to make a course. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of BS out there, right? Carmen, thanks for the number one, dude. So let me just take this off here. So Nature Boy 10th Planet, also like the hoodie, money green. Yeah, dude. I just got this. Do you guys any of you guys do Stitch Fix? I love Stitch Fix, man. It's like tailored, but it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe they're using AI. Who knows? So let's get back to this. Let's talk about using a critical eye to judge all this AI stuff, right? My number one thing, man, you've got to start, you've got to trust your gut. Especially if you haven't taken a bunch of antibiotics and destroyed all the gut bacteria. But you got to trust your gut, right? If something sounds too good to be true, you probably need to give it a second look. You probably need to dig into it, right? I think that's age-old wisdom here. So if somebody's trying to sell you an AI solution that promises to make you rich overnight or claims somehow to unlock the secrets of eternal youth or whatever, dude, man, you know what I mean? Like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You can't be a sucker. But this stuff is crazy. And I'm telling you, I personally believe AI is the most disruptive technology humans have ever created. But don't lose your mind, right? Do your homework. Research. Don't just take the vendor's word for it. You've got to use your critical faculties. You can be like a detective, man, like Batman, and do a little bit of research, right? You don't have to put on a stupid outfit. You can just pull up next to your computer on your cell phone, start doing some research. Obviously, reviews and testimonials are great, but how do you know they're actual users? So you want to make sure these are people who've actually had that experience, that positive experience, right? That's one. Hopefully this company or whoever's making these promises has some sort of, excuse me, like a case study or a white paper that you can then review, or even better yet, get a demo. Like, if they offer a free trial, roll up your sleeves, man, get in there and dig through it and test it yourself, right? Super easy to do, right? So that's the very base high level. Now, I think so you don't even have to get that far. Maybe first step would be cut through the BS, the jargon, the nonsense, the buzzwords, right? I think that's what got people so crazy about Bitcoin when it went all the way to 67,000 or whatever it went to, or where everybody thought that the metaverse was going to be something, right? You gotta, BS peddlers are freaking notorious for using buzzwords and technical jargon And it's only used as like misdirection to pick your pocket, right? Because it's this baffle them with bullshit, pardon my language. So keep your eyes out for like these kind of telltale signs, right? Overuse of words like revolutionary or cutting edge, including if somebody starts having like inclusion of non-relevant tech like blockchain or quantum computing. I mean, dude, right there, you're like, oh gosh, because you're trying to make it seem even more innovative, or something that is very vague in the description of the underlying technologies and algorithms used. Does that make sense? So if you come across any of these red flags, just tread carefully, be cautious, do a little more digging before you dig your wallet out. Okay. You Sheriff says, is there a difference between scientific wrestling and what Eric Paulson does with combat submission wrestling? Oh yeah, 100%. And I love Eric. I highly recommend Eric. Eric and I don't have a very extensive knowledge of Eric's system, although I have several friends that do, that are very deep on Eric's system. Eric is a brilliant guy. Eric started he started with judo in the 70s. He's very smart, right? Like I've been involved with martial arts for 45 years, and he's older than me and more experienced. And I think Eric has a broader approach. So what I would say in a nutshell, the difference between, say, what scientific wrestling does and combat submission wrestling does is scientific wrestling is very specific for wrestling, for grappling, and MMA. We really don't. Now, there is some overspill where we work a lot with high-level law enforcement on self-defense, defensive tactics, control and restraint, those kind of things. But our narrow focus, really, because it applies in a bunch of different places, but our narrow focus is on wrestling for grappling and MMA and catch, right? So grappling, which would be sub only, no gi. MMA, which is grappling, no holds barred with striking, as well as catch as catch can, which is pin and submit rules. That is our focus. Eric, on the other hand, he has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu component. We really don't, other than defensively. We have several of our elite coaches have black belts or third or fourth degree black belts in jiu-jitsu. So we are certainly well informed at the state of that art, but it's not what we use offensively, but we certainly know their offense and defense, and we apply our curriculum and our canon of technique towards those particular opponents. I think Eric also has a striking component, the STX, and he has some savant. So I think Eric has taken a lot from Dan Inosanto and the Jeet Kune Do market and seminar circuit. And so he appeals to that, to kind of a Jeet Kune Do and as well as MMA market. For us, we are very, very dialed in, tight, and focused on wrestling. So, for example, one of the things I see that Eric has some wrestling. I've seen some great clips of him showing some wrestling setups, but it's also, he's got jiu-jitsu setups and all these other things going. We don't do that. We just focus on the wrestling. I don't know if that answers your question. I certainly hope it does. Okay, so now let's see. We got Chris the Barber. What's up? Thanks for the follow, brother. Jay Pruitt Tattoo, V. DeLucia, Robeezy, Ruse Bristol. What's up, people? Happy to see you. So keep the questions coming. I'm happy to answer anything that I can. You Sheriff 201 says, thank you with a thumbs up. Dude, give me a number one. So let's go. I just want to go over some kind of frequently asked questions about the topic that I'm talking about this BS that and the hype around AI. I love it. I'm like deep, dude. Like I've got multiple certifications I'm working on right now. I am testing, playing with, doing all kinds of stuff on the business side. I'm really pushing all my chips in on AI. I think it's just absolutely amazing. Practically speaking, I did not see practical applications outside of decentralized finance for blockchain tech for me personally or for my clients. I did not see any application for the metaverse, but AI 100%. I see it, and I think it's going to be everything. So as usual, when I believe it's something like catch as catch can, I'm an early adopter. I started the company in 2003. Most people are just hearing about catch wrestling right now. I started it like 20 years ago, right? And then started wrestling like 45. So 45 years ago. So anyway, I believe in this stuff. Okay. But let's go through like a few things. How can you tell if an AI product is genuine or if it's hype, right? As ever, like, right? Have you guys read my articles or listened to my old radio show? I used to have an AM radio show before podcasts were big. It was called Mental Self-Defense. And to me, mental self-defense is the best of understanding inferential statistics and inferential reasoning, as well as deductive reasoning, like logic, informal fallacies, and a bit of psychology, right? So you don't get trapped into the social engineering, propaganda, marketing, the BS. And the number one tenet that I suggest, and this is what I'm suggesting here, if you want to delineate whether AI products are genuine or if they're just hype, look for concrete evidence of the product's capabilities. By this, I mean look at case studies, look at independent evaluations, and then maybe consider looking at some testimonials, because testimonials could be a BS too. But you add all that in, now you start looking to some, look for a guarantee. If they really, if it does what it says they're going to, if that's true, they'll give you a guarantee, right? What else here? Let's see here. Kendo. What is it? Kendo tube. Oh, the camps are game changing. Dude, I appreciate that, sir. If you want to elaborate, I'd love to hear why you felt it was. This is probably the number one feedback. It's in this realm. It's about how it changes everything, how it's mind blowing, and it's just you spend one weekend. But we've designed it so you can't learn it all in a weekend, but it definitely blows your mind that first time, and that's what gets everybody hooked to actually complete the certification, which can take, if you want a full coach with us, we are not a rubber stamp. We don't do any of this BS stuff that you see with so many of these other groups, man. It's the real deal. It'll take 20 camps for you even to get in the ballpark. Okay, so another question, right? Are all AI products risky? Just inherently? No. You got to roll your sleeves up, start fooling around with these. I mean, DALL-E, which is part of OpenAI, which is a picture generating software, ChatGPT. There are serious, like, mind-blowing things going on in AI. This is why I'm like, you need to get out there and start poking around. Go to my page, man, on Medium. I've written quite a bit of material on AI. It's just medium.com/@Jake.Shannon. Go there, medium.com/@Jake.Shannon. You can see all my articles on AI, right? Okay. I mean, another legit question, is AI as revolutionary or disruptive as I am saying and other people are claiming? Look, AI truly has the potential to bring about like significant change in various industries. This is and human history. Okay. This is why guys who are very, very reputable, guys like Elon Musk and whatnot, are freaked out by it. Rightfully so, in my opinion. But at the same time, don't lose your head, man. You got to keep that skepticism. And I'm not, there's a difference between healthy skepticism and being a doubting Thomas. There's so many of those. I can always tell somebody who's an idiot, who's trying to pretend to be smart. It's these people who read like Skeptic magazine, and they don't even understand the difference between a type 1 and a type 2 error in statistical in inferential reasoning. Anyway, don't get me going on that. Don't be a doubting Thomas, but have a healthy skepticism. It's super duper important. Okay. Now, the next time you come across one of these AI offerings, right, that seems to be too good to be true, sit back. Don't get so excited in the emotions. Go ahead and poke around. You have my complete permission to go and do as much research as you possibly can. Guess what? If you go to ChatGPT and ask what AI can do, it will actually tell you. And you can figure out if it's BS or not. It'll help you. That's the cool thing. So keep your head about you, keep your wits about you, and you will be able to navigate the AI hype and deception with confidence. I promise you. All right. So that said, I'm off my soapbox. I got about 10 minutes here. Any question I can answer for you. I know a lot of people have been excited about the camps. We got a big camp coming up in Charlotte this weekend. I'm flying out tomorrow. We're going to be at Ryan Hoover's gym, Fit to Fight in Charlotte. Super excited. That's our second time there. Very happy to be going back. And then we've got one hell of a crazy event. Josh Barnett, the War Master, brewer of whiskey, award-winning whiskey, and Wade Schallis, Guinness record holder for the most wins and pins in all of wrestling, most wins over international champions, wins over national champions, 5 combat sport All-American in folk style, freestyle, Greco-Roman, judo, and sambo, all together with me in the Mojave Desert at the end of May. This thing will sell out. It is an insane price. Insane. You guys that are spending $250 to go to a camp with one of these BJJ celebrity types, you're getting like 2 hours, one technique, and maybe a photo for $250, dude. $250 with Scientific Wrestling. We have not changed our price in 15 years. Well, dude, we've actually reduced our price while everybody else is going the other way. All you people that bitch and moan about price, by the way, I'm getting sick of you guys because you all complain, then you don't show up, and I'm keeping them low. I'm pretty soon going to start jacking these prices up to reflect the freaking value. Dude, I guarantee you, whoever it is, and I'm not even talking Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett's a legend. Dude, he beat like everybody. Remember in that time when he was kind of he was banned out of UFC, he was like, screw it, I'm just going to go to all these jiu-jitsu tournaments, smoked everybody, dude, with a white belt, right? Carmen giving me a number 100%. That's just Josh. Guy's a freaking legend. Guy suplexed an Olympic gold medalist judo guy in Pride. Like, go look it up. It's so amazing. Yoshida. So, dude's a stud. And Wade Schallis, dude. And I guarantee you, I don't care who your little BJJ, who you got your little BJJ boner for, whoever your hero is, his accomplishments are a pimple on the rear end of the accomplishments of Wade Schallis. And you probably don't even know who he was. You probably didn't know who Billy Robinson was until I started knocking on your freaking door and trying to be like, shove your head in the door to show you. You got to get there, dude. Show up. I have not put Josh and Wade together on a camp since 2017, and I may not. I mean, who knows how these things go. Dude, did you know lockdowns was going to come and screw everything up? Get there and show up, dude. Show up. If you can't afford $250 for 2 days of training, dude, you need to get with my number 1 coaching and figure your life out, dude. It's cheap. This is the greatest value ever. And this goes also for the Scientific Wrestler Affiliation Program, dude. I've got 2 more affiliates coming. Another one, it'll be our second international. I'm working on a guy in England, in the home very close to where Billy Robinson came up. He trained with Billy. He's trained also with Wade, all through and with me, all through Scientific Wrestling. Very excited about this. But this affiliate deal, man, you're not going to get a better deal anywhere. Why? Because I went and I looked at everybody's, and I designed, and I've got a master's in financial math, and I've launched multiple businesses, been doing business coaching. I literally put together the best deal. This thing is sick. Go look at scientificwrestler.com. Go check it out. Look at the value stack, dude. It's unreal. It's unreal. Unreal. Anyway, it is going down. Got Ninth Paladin of Mars. What's up? This weekend, it's going down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to see you there, Mason. I'm going to need you to start doing some demos. You are getting close, by the way. We do, Mason is very close. We'll see. The one thing that I've kept, I'm not quite as abusive as Billy, but I do hold us very, very high standards that nobody else holds in the area in which we do. And nobody, guarantee you. There's so many people letting people slide with bullshit. But Mason, he was smart. He actually bought the season pass, which basically takes him all the way to the assistant coach certification at almost half the price. It's something, it's like 30% off or something. I can't remember. Right. But you can go to scientificwrestling.com/season pass. It'll take you there. You can get the details, get it. You buy 2 of those, you'll always be up. You'll be almost near full coach. As long as you do your work. Carmen says, coach is spitting truths. I'm a hard ass. I try to make it fun, but I will not let you slide. Ninth Paladin of Mars, you always kick my ass. Yeah, well, because dude, that's how you get better. That's how you get better, man. You know, I learned this lesson when I went to college. I went to University of Colorado Boulder on a leadership scholarship. My parents were very blue collar. I would not have been able to afford to go otherwise, right? Unless I had this money that paid for my tuition. And it was because of a leadership scholarship, very prestigious. It was like less than 1% of all incoming freshmen got chosen for this at the University of Colorado Boulder. So I go there, I get these roommates, and they're all like these pro skateboarders. In fact, one of my roommates ends up being, he's now the head of Thrasher magazine, the editor-in-chief. And this was my roommate. Anyway, so I'm hanging, and I'd never done skateboarding. I was always in martial arts and grappling and things. So they take me snowboarding. And I will tell you, the first day I was terrified. Dude, I was so scared. I had never done it. I didn't know what to do. What's up, Paul? Paul Garcia up there in Sterling, another affiliate, crushing it. Dude, that guy has man, he's creating young champs, changing lives in a way that very few people ever will. Happy to see you, Paul. If you guys are near the south part of Nebraska or the north part of Colorado, you need to go check out Paul and his crew. Cody is one of the coaches there. He is working his ass off. This guy is taking fights left and right. One of the most game guys, a very, very solid wrestler, is coaching out there as well. So, yeah, man, got to show up. You got to show up. Can't do it for you. And if you can't, dude, I don't know what to tell you guys. I try to help all of you guys. I do this for free. I come in here and I will answer anything you guys ask. Right? I'll answer anything that you guys want to know on money, on how to make it happen. But you got to show up. You got to put it into practice. You got to put it into play. So I appreciate you guys as ever. You did show up here. If this helped you, again, give me a number 1 whenever we're live. Share this to other people. It does go out on YouTube. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's everywhere, dude. I'm like on Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn. God, where else? Everywhere. So you could share this too to hopefully help people and bring them on. And then they can ask me questions live if I can help. Right now, as I said, dude, business development, grappling, and now artificial intelligence. I'm pushing all my chips in. Yeah, my new book is coming out very soon. I've actually got 3 in the queue, hoping to have them out by summer. Because, dude, I'm a freak. So when I put myself into something, I put everything I have into it. And this is why I've published over 15 books. A couple of them have been bestsellers in their categories. Nature Boy 10th Planet says, thank you. Gave me a number one. Thank you, sir. And now again with AI, this is the thing you guys need to understand. I want to talk one other thing about the hype. Everybody's freaked out about AI replacing all these things. You know what? You know who it's going to replace? It ain't going to replace trades. You guys doing carpentry, you guys doing the good work, like blue collar stuff, plumbers, electricians, it ain't going to replace you. It's going to be replacing all these stuffy knuckleheads. Some of them are going to be attorneys, these people who don't want to learn and thought, oh, I'll go into something because I got money and it'll create a barrier of entry because nobody else will do it. Dude, that's the stuff that's getting taken over. Just so you know. Okay. That's just some more hype. Your job is probably okay. Unless you're one of these, white collar, sit on your butt, pretend to work hard types. But the AI, here's what it's going to do. It won't replace your job. You know what's going to replace you? Somebody who really knows how to use AI to make themselves even more productive. You guys, have you noticed that I am omnipresent? It's because I've learned how to use technology to amplify my already ridiculous work ethic. Does that make sense? So now I'm using AI. I've got my 3 books proofread, all the citations checked, things that I used to have to, that slowed me down because it was other people. I had to set typesetting, editing, proofing, marketing, graphic design, the things that I couldn't do, AI can do now. So I've got my next book. It's called Sportify. It is really cool. I'm very excited. I love coming up with innovative new things. The mace bell. Any of you guys swinging a mace bell or steel mace or whatever the fuck people who rip me off call it now. And I don't mind. That's what a leader does. This is what I learned when I went to college as on a leadership scholarship. How do you know you're making an impact? When people start ripping you off. Why do you think I sit here and I let people know what I do and I plant a flag before? So when people rip me off, they're like, oh yeah, Jake was doing that. Oh yeah, Jake was the first one in the looking at catch wrestling in a real way and the first guy to create a tournament competitions, the first guy to create a certification, the first guy to loop in high level guys like Carl Gotch, Billy Robinson, Wade Chalice, the mace bell. When I've done this I did this with reverse mortgages. I came up with the idea and found partners to create the first reverse mortgage consultancy back in 2006 or so. All these things, right? I'm not here to rattle off all the shit that I've done, but this is the new one and I'm very, very excited about it. The book is called Sportify, and it's taking and merging the 2 things that I've spent most of my adult life doing. And that's coaching for business and athletics, fitness, grappling, and then business coaching. And I've integrated it. And what has really kicked it off is prior to going deep down the rabbit hole for AI, I went deep down the rabbit hole for gamification. Now, this was partially inspired by the work that I do with the software company that my wife and I run. I was looking at ways to gamify things. That also was a result of me trying to figure out what can I do to make wrestling adopted in the same way as retail martial arts, but without the bullshit belts. Because it's just, you don't have a green belt in boxing. You don't have a black belt in wrestling. It's antithetical because these are combat sports. But how do you offer both intrinsic, which is really the strength of wrestling and boxing and Western combat sports, intrinsic motivation, Google it, versus the extrinsic participation trophies, badges, stars, belts, all of that, just the kind of the BS stuff that actually is interesting And I think this is why you don't see as many high level people in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in combat sports anymore, not in the way that it was at the beginning before people figured it out. And that has to do with the intrinsic versus the extrinsic motivation factors. These are things that are studied in gamification, right? So now I've applied gamification and I found the limits of gamification. The limits of gamification are essentially the same limits that you find in, say, martial arts models. These, and I'm saying martial arts versus combat sports. So I took it a step further. I said, okay, gamification, you're great all the way here, but then you'd really drop the ball. And what is the dropping of the ball? And that's because they stop at games. They stop at games. And I said, what if we went past a game and into sport? And we started taking the principles and the elements inherent in a sport and started applying it in non-sporting contexts, in particular business. That's my next book coming out. Shortly after that will be my book called Revenue Engineering, which will be an actual more of a playbook on how you sportify a business. What it is that I actually do when these companies pay me $25,000, $50,000 for a year contract to come in and tweak things. And then the third book is actually going to be a departure, but something that's near and dear to me, a cause that I think is very relevant. In fact, I wish I could have written this book prior to lockdowns because I have a couple of chapters in a few of my other books, like Anomaly and whatnot, already deal with this subject, but I went really deep because I felt that it needed to be addressed and readdressed and updated given what's going on in the planet. The book is called The Principles, and it's basically applying the codes that were the moral, ethical codes that were developed out of World War II at the Nuremberg trials. And again, like sportification takes sporting elements outside of sport context and applies it broadly, taking what's known as principlism or bioethical principlism, which is this, the ideas of first do no harm and informed consent and all those kind of principles, right? And beneficence and justice that are inherent in bioethics today, and applying them broadly. It's going to be a mind bender, dude. Game changer. Those are just the first three. I should have those out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if this AI tech can keep up with me, I'll have those out by July. Crazy times. Now, if you guys want to get involved, you want to help me, you see the mission I'm on, whether it be in business, whether it be with the principles, or whether it be with scientific wrestling, I have ways, and I would love to have your help because I have big dreams. I have big aspirations, but I can't do it all myself. And I've got a lot of great people helping me out. I'd love one of them to be you if you're not a BSer, if you do have the drive and you're a kindred spirit. So just DM me, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. I got to jump off. I got another business call. I appreciate you. Hit me up, sign up, man. Go over, if you can, go over to coachingcatch.com and get in on the camp this weekend or end of May. The one with Josh and Wade will 100% sell out. It's not sold out yet, but it's 3 weeks from now. If you're sitting on your hands, dude, and I'm just telling you, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. There's going to be guys that show up at the camp that took the risk. They put it on the credit card. They did whatever it took to show up, dude. And they then get their ass to camp and they grind and they learn these things, and they're going to go and meet you at a tournament and smoke you. So, or some sort, maybe it'll actually be a fight and there's money on the line. And then that money, then that $250 that they threw down for 2 days of training camp comes back 10x ROI. You see? So I'm here to help you, but you got to show up. I can't do everything for you, man. I can't. So Coach and Catch, get out. If you're near Charlotte, make it happen. Hit me up. If you need help with something, you need figuring it out, I'll try to figure it out for you. And then, of course, keep your eye out for my new books. I'm really excited for it. Guys, hit me up if you need anything. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. And don't get all freaked out by this AI stuff. It's not that bad. But it's pretty amazing.